Vigo, your character's the father. I was really curious in watching this because there's a strange dynamic going on. On the one hand, it's so obvious that this man is passionately in love with his children. And at the same time, there's a line in there where he says that he really feels like he is at risk of destroying them. Where do you, how do you see your role? And how did you see your role in that? How do you see that character?
Well, I think just in life, in daily life, in work, but also in parenting, if you don't take chances in trying to do your best, if you don't, by taking chances, making mistakes necessarily, if you play it safe, then you're not going to have the same kind of connection. And I think as a child, I remember things particularly that my mother said or did that at the time I might have thought, oh gosh, why is she taking so much interest? Why is she, as a kid? And yet later, or I thought she was crazy, some of her ideas, and then now they don't seem so. And it's not like the specific thing she said or did. The feeling I take away now that she's gone is that she cared and she paid attention. And it's that simple. You pay attention, as a parent. And as a parent, if you really ask yourself, am I really paying attention as much as I could or not? And by paying attention, by trying to protect, educate, hopefully give your kids the chance to think for themselves, which really comes across in this movie. There are several moments where you see, like that first test on the bus, it's like, it's okay, it's right now. This is your first test out here in the world. And my character has no idea what they're going to do, no idea. So he's as surprised as the audience and very pleased by the way they're thinking for themselves. So it seems kind of crazy. I guess in a way it's an extreme, it's an exaggeration of conscious parenting. But I think it's the kind of story that has a universal appeal in the sense that I think you can't help but see this movie and walk out wondering how you do as a parent or how your parents did, or think about your own family dynamic. All of those things attracted me to the story initially. And, it's very subjective, but, I obviously thought about how I brought my son up, or tried to, and how I was brought up, and how my brothers were brought up, and as we got to know each other, and I got to know the parents, Matt has said before that when you cast 6 kids, you're also casting, except for George, who is a grown up, and others almost are now too, but you're casting their parents as well. And that was really, really cool, and they were amazing. And many of them are here, I think. Do you guys want to stand up? Or?
Yeah, stand up.
Go ahead, go for it.
Raise your hand.
Parents.
Raise your hands. All right. I mean, Matt, wouldn't you agree that if they hadn't been so great, it wouldn't have worked, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, is there an auditioning process for the parents? I mean,
No, but there should be. We just lucked out. I mean, truly, we could not have made it without them. I mean, they were there every day, and they were, managing everyone's energy levels and needs in ways that I couldn't. And yeah, they made it possible. Absolutely.
well, actually, that's a really good question. I mean, it's like,
Except for Vicky, who was drunk all the time. Sorry, I just saw your face. It's not true.